Wow!
Wow!
Oh my gosh! They just are like, yeah, we're gonna be ending. Let's have this little tournament thing, and then suddenly, epic fight. Just blow out all the stops, make it a massive spectacle. Have this very intentional, powerful effect of having there be this this kind of hum in the background.
And it wasn't a quiet hum either. It was
like their auras were essentially like there was like friction against them as they were combating against each other. It's kind of the aspect of when you see people in this kind of combat, and there's the soul aspect of it, where they're like the souls are in combat with each other, and as much as they're physically.
Battle is a pure form of expression.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I kind of like forgot about the rest of everything that came before this because like that 90 seconds. I think it was about 90 seconds. It wasn't that long.
Yeah, it wasn't that long. They kept everything moving very fast. They didn't have the commentator saying anything.
Thank goodness.
And they didn't do any of the blurred motion really.
Well, that was the thing. I noticed that. You know how in a lot of I'd say more stereotypical shonen fights, they will have that bit where they'll have that just blurred thing, and it's not actually like you can't tell what the motion is. Right. They only really did that when Hisoka was defending
against
one point.
the broken up tile.
The broken up debris and stuff. But the other parts were very intentional, specific movements.
Right.
And then I think the other part where they used it maybe a little bit was Gon when he did his super feint.
Right. Yes.
But it looked amazing. It looked amazing.
The motion was incredible. And that was really good. And what a way to end the episode too, because it wasn't just they ended it when the fight started. They ended it when it's like, okay, tit for tat, point for point. Now, what happens now?
Gon is playing the game.
He is.
Yep. He basically realized, okay, I don't need to make Hisoka incapable of fighting. Right. I need to utilize, at the very least right now, his arrogance a little bit to get a clean hit in. And he did a nice disorient, opportunistic combo.
And
that was a combination of him using his 10 in order to, I guess it would be his Hatsu in order to, he's an enhancer. Yeah, but the idea that...
Right, but he also used Zetsu for sure.
He used Zetsu so they couldn't see or sense where he was.
Right.
And that's a good point to note in these fights in particular, is if you move fast enough that they lose sight of you, they have to rely on sensing your aura in order to detect where the next attack is coming from. But if you're constantly using your Zetsu... If they lose sight of you, you could just win the fight instantly.
They could.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that they didn't take the time to say, have anyone say, oh, Gon used his Zetsu so that now, he can't see him, he doesn't know where he is.
They might do that later.
They might.
But right here, that was something special. Please do more of that. Please.
I don't think I've ever been truly, hyped for a fight in this show yet, not really.
I've been excited.
Yeah, but
I've been ooh, this is gonna be good. But then there's the hype where it just gets into your body and you're just oh, that was so good. The bit of having them train with Hatsu, I don't want to have that overshadowed by the incredible fight because what they set up is true, almost perfect combat power system.
Well, because they set it up in general terms. They set up how the general aspects of it interact with each other. Relate with each other. But the thing is, the general aspects themselves could theoretically be used to do
almost anything.
It's not even there's 100 listed techniques that you can do within this subset. It's no. It's just this is generally classified as this, and then by the way, we also have that catch-all category for just anything that's not this.
Right. So one of the things that when you're designing, say, a video game in particular, is you want to have a balanced system. Right. And what they basically did was they left it all up to the wielders. They gave all these branches, and the idea is that the branches and how they relate to each other is not that one necessarily counters the other. It's the idea that each one interacts with each other in a different way to where they are cousins essentially. Yeah. So emitter and I think it was transmuter are cousins of enhancers.
Okay, so we have to take this. We have to take this and figure out what we think we would be.
Well, the thing is,
we have to do that.
The thing is, I think we could figure it out by the next episode, but because we don't know the techniques, What we basically be doing is
but they gave
just
the
looking online to see if there is any kind of personality test that is associated with this. Because possibly? I think actually their point that they made was based on Gon's childhood. That was a very easy way for him to tell, okay, you're probably going... I think Wing already knew...
You're probably an enhancer.
He's probably an enhancer. But then when he didn't know Hisoka's upbringing as much... I'm sorry, Killwa's upbringing as much. He's not able to tell immediately that he would be a transmuter. Right. But we might have been able to tell if we thought about it and looked at the 6 things and we're like, well, he's not this, he's not that. Yeah. Is he a specialist? Maybe. I think it's hard to tell if someone is truly a specialist.
Yeah. Or maybe it's really obvious. Who knows?
Maybe it is really obvious. It's the idea that the test has like a very specific thing that happens when you're a specialist.
Right.
Like maybe maybe the leaf like burns up or something. Like,
sure.
Maybe, who knows?
Yeah. It's like there's a list of things like if it's, one of these 5 things could happen. If none of those things happen or something other than those things happen, they're a specialist. Which is why I thought Killa was going to be, because it's like, oh, nothing seemed to happen. No.
Right. I could see how Killwa's personality being a transmuter makes sense outside of just the idea that he used that assassination technique with the hand changing, because a transmuter is someone that changes the state of aura, basically.
Right. It changes the forms of other things.
But it's the idea that he becomes anything he needs to be in order to get his target, to get his kill. He's the assassin.
Yeah.
Maybe Illumi is similar in that regard.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because he also changed his appearance in some way. Maybe Maybe those Nen-infused needles are an example of some really high-level transmuting techniques. It's the idea that he could shapeshift because he infused those with his own Nen, and that changed his aura, which changed his appearance because they were physically interacting with his body.
This is the kind of power system where it's like, imagine a tabletop RPG with this.
It would be so good. In fact, why isn't there a video game of HunterxHunter?
There might be.
There might be, but I haven't heard.
It's not very good.
I've heard it's like, if there is one, it's probably crap, because I think I'm more thinking of Naruto games, because I know there are plenty of Naruto games out there, but I haven't heard of any HunterxHunter games in particular. Like maybe it's because I just didn't care about HunterxHunter.
Right. It's probably recently. It's probably just that since we just got into HunterxHunter,
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
But it would make a really good one, especially if they go into kind of the classifications of what aspects are attributed generally to people like enhancers or transmuters, manipulators. By the way, let's get that listed down. We have enhancers, emitters, transmuters, manipulators,
conjurers, and specialists.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. And I feel like if anything, it's pretty easy to tell what aspects of a personality would contribute to those if we got maybe 5 minutes to kind of look at the description of each branch, and you could go, oh, hey, we could even tie this back to the Myers-Briggs in particular and be like, conjurers are primarily extroverts because they want to bring things out of themselves into their external environment. Actually, that's a different type of thing. But anyways, I think that would be really cool. And we'll probably go and look that up and find out what we would be, if we were in the hunter thing, because that's kind of cool.
It is cool. It is very. It's
cool. Very cool. Also, the idea that I feel like the more simple the ability is, the more opportunity is for there to get better at it quickly. So the idea that Gon is a fast learner means that he doesn't and his thing is raw. It's all very raw. So I feel like Enhancer being the simplest one means that it would be the one he would pick up the quickest.
Right.
Whereas
he basically does general stat boosting,
but also that means it has the almost limitless potential with regards to someone that's actually strong in their aura.
Exactly, because it's something that's it can be used in basically for anything.
Right. It's the idea that it has infinite creativity, not necessarily in the techniques themselves, but in how they're applied.
Right. There wouldn't really be a point where enhancement just doesn't help you.
Yes, exactly. In a way, I'd say it as the as the most average one that has no real weaknesses but no real strengths.
Right.
I would say that maybe the thing that makes it really strong is the idea that if your aura is exceptionally strong,
like
therefore your stats go up higher.
Yep.
Therefore Gon has insane speed.
You can get
naturally.
to those points where even if someone has like this really cool move that they have, it's like in a MOBA or something. It's like, oh no, this person's fed. What can I
could see enhancers getting really, really hard countered by a technique from a specialist, though, and maybe that's where the counter system comes into play. If you're on the opposite, those are your counters.
Sure.
And it more of like has a specific relationship, or maybe it's not that there's a counter of your exact opposite, because that would be your mirror, like your inverted, abilities, stuff like that. It's the one that's opposite instead to the left.
Right,
because then it's not something that's directly counter to your thing.
Oh, right, because then that would mean you'd have to counter each other, so it's probably some sort of cyclical thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So maybe in that respect,
that's specifically
a conjurer is someone that beats an emitter, an enhancer, because a conjurer manifests their aura out. So if the enhancer wastes all their energy attacking something that's not connected to the source of the aura...
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. Something like that.
Maybe that's why Castro tried to get a bunch of different... be sort of all over the place, because he wanted to have something where...
He had no counters.
Right. But then the problem was that he didn't really specialize.
Right, so...
So don't multi-class.
Right, but we don't know necessarily just by saying that Wing deduced that Hisoka used a transmuting type ability that he is a transmuter naturally. But I feel like he is.
Yeah, probably, because that seems the most trickster type.
Right. If his cards are made of aura, then he has using a conjurer technique as well. But
if he's just enhancing them...
Yeah. I feel like he's a transmuter with some enhancing techniques.
Okay.
Because he does enhance his cards in particular.
Right. So then maybe...
And that's next to each other, so they're very easy to learn.
If he's a transmuter, then maybe Killua will be able to learn a lot by watching the fight.
Ah, sure. That would be cool. Basically the idea that you watch someone in a more advanced form of your branch, your area, then you can gain some pretty cool technique ideas. I like that.
Yeah.
It would be fun to maybe have that point way later in the show where Killua has been watching Hisoka but ends up developing his own techniques and stuff.
Sure.
But then it's the idea that, like, dude, I'm just you but better, and then he just beats him down. And it's this idea that, like...
That would be fantastic.
There can only be one true transmuter god, and Hisoka's just like, I can see, like, I'm the trickster, you are the pure expression of transmuting power. It's
Careful now, we're not getting into god territory just
no,
yet.
but I get the feeling that the reason why Killua is involved in the show at all is the idea that his thing is he is the amoral, like, he has no problem killing people, person who will ascend with Gon.
Yes.
And the idea that since this is so early in the show, they're going to get much stronger than this.
Oh, yeah.
But Killua in particular, I see that since he's the transmuter, and so far the only other transmuter that we know of
is Hisoka.
Is the idea that he will one day surpass Hisoka, and then they'll probably fight, and it will be this moment where you'll realize, like, whoa, these people are both really good, but wow, Killua, you are something else.
Yeah,
dang.
This is exciting.
This is very exciting. Yeah.
Okay, because all right, it is rare that I have basically heard about some sort of power system or something like that, and actually been like really excited about, like, that's really cool.
Right.
Like, the most prominent one I can think of is like bending, an airbender, right?
Yes.
And even then, that as far as systems go, that was more of like a style thing.
It was a style. It had a little bit of kata to the martial arts aspect of it.
Right.
And you could restrain someone's ability to move in a specific way, meaning they could only make certain types of attacks.
Right. But
they wouldn't go that in depth.
Exactly. It was more of it was more of like a general personality test, a visual spectacle thing, than actually like, okay, this will do like
right. Mechanics,
like RPG classifications, or you know.
This is straight up RPG stuff here, and it gets us excited because we're both people that would love to both develop games and also create game systems of this type, in some way. So we're like, ooh, we're gonna learn so many cool ideas from this.
If you can make people like start thinking and have the wheels in their head just keep turning and turning about a power system in your story, then you've done something right. Because then it's not just it's not even at that point attached to the characters. It's them just thinking about like, man, wouldn't that be so cool if that was actually a real thing? And like, what would I want to do with that? And, you know, blah blah blah. And then they're spending all this time in your storyland. That's not even about the story. Like,
but the fact that it's a shonen means that there will be key tie-ins to it constantly because the show revolves around fighting, basically. And there will be constant fights going throughout where we'll learn new things about Nen, and we'll learn new things about different Hatsu techniques.
And because this is set up to be very general and like multi-purpose and you can do kind of anything with it, that will make it actually be interesting when people show their abilities, because we'll be able to see, we'll be like, oh, that's genius. You're using this with that in combination to be able to do this. That's brilliant. How's no one else thought of that yet? No wonder you're awesome, right? Whereas in something else where it's like, I can do this awesome thing, and it's like, oh, that they pulled that out of their butts, didn't they? Like, so.
Oh, that's exciting.
I'm excited.
If you had to predict, when we take whatever test or we find out which ones will be, which of the 6 classifications of Hatsu do you feel like you will fall under, based on just thoughts? Like,
I would like to think that I'm a specialist, but
because you're a special snowflake.
That's right.
And the world just revolves around you.
But I may very well just be an enhancer.
See, that's the thing. I could see you being an enhancer.
Because, like, armor. Like, that's...
Yes, you know. But the thing is it your personality, Jacob? We know about your personality.
Yeah.
You aren't even the armor type of guy.
Right.
Like, you, I would say, if anything, are not a manipulator.
No.
If anything, you are, I would say, an emitter.
And they're the ones that... No, because that's using your aura to do things outside of yourself. Like, that's...
Right, it's the idea that your personality lends towards the perfect application of your own abilities. It's not the perfect realization, necessarily. And I think that's where you'd think you'd go into enhancing.
Right, because I'm definitely not a conjurer.
Right.
But the difference between emitter and conjurer, we'll have to look that up again, because I think they were very similar, and I think they were next to each other on the...
Oh yeah, they're related in some way. But I don't know. I think that there's multiple opportunities for us to have like there's multiple options of which one would make sense. But I feel like if we looked at it really closely, it would be very obvious which one would be. I don't know, which one would I be?
That's. Well, which one do you think? Like,
that's the thing. I don't know. I looked at them all in particular, and I feel like it's a little bit tricky, because I feel like transmuting makes sense in some way.
Sure.
But it also doesn't in other ways.
I could see you... Are transmuter and conjurer next to each other?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up.
We'll have to look it up. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
And sound off in the comments, actually, give your guess. Like, what
do you think we'd be?
What do you think we'd be? That would be kind of cool to, hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
And sound off which one you are as well, because that's also pretty cool. We don't really check out the comments as much, but if you guys started,
HunterxHunter,
we'll put up a pinned comment at the top of the video, and just use this one specifically to shout off what your classification of Hatsu would be, and then also maybe given a guess, like which one do you think would be? Like, Caleb, you'd be this. Jacob, you'd be this.
Right.
Yeah. And then we'll let you guys know in the next video. And if you want to watch that next video right now, next two videos, you can check out the link in the description below for our Patreon's early access. Get on that. You get on the Discord as well with that, and chat with us about storytelling or what have you. Or we can discuss which classification of Hatsu you find to be the most interesting. I mean, of course, no spoilers.
Right.
But and we'll see you all there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.